White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows had this to say.
I think the American people expect indictments. I know I expect indictments based on the evidence I've seen. Lindsey Graham did a good job in getting that out. We know that they not only knew that there wasn't a case, but they continued to investigate and spy, and yes, I use the word spy, on Trump campaign officials, and actually even doing things when this president was sworn in and after that, and doing it in an inappropriate manner. You're going to see a couple of other documents come out in the coming days that will suggest that not only was the campaign spied on, but the FBI did not act appropriately as they were investigating. It's all starting to come unravel, and I tell you, it's time that people go to jail and people are indicted. It is stunning, and here's the interesting thing is not only that it wasn't true, the problem is they knew it wasn't true. And when you know something is not true and you continue the investigation, that's collusion. That's the kind of thing that we must stop, and that's where we need to hold people accountable.
Someone better go to jail. I hope all that stuff that I just opened the show with, I hope all of it's true. And I'll tell you why I think it's so important. And I'm not just talking about something I want personally. Yes, I take this very, very seriously. I take what happened very seriously, and we'll recap that in a second. But for the sake of the future of the United States of America, somebody had better go to jail. Have you ever heard of the Montana Vigilantes? It's a famous story from the 1860s where Montana wasn't a state yet, it was just a territory. And they had all these robberies popping up along the road, people getting robbed of all their goods, all your valuables, all their gold dust, because it was a big mining place. And eventually the sheriff himself, his name was Henry Plummer, he started leading one of these gangs, robbing everybody. Not making that up. Sheriff by day, throw on a mask at night with a couple of your hoodlum friends, go out and rob people. Henry Plummer ended up swinging from a rope, from a tree, at the hands of a lynch mob. They were the Montana Vigilantes. They ended up murdering, frankly, 50 people, probably at least, that we know of. That's not an extreme example in the history of the world. That's the rule. Societies, all of society, every nation in the history of the world seeks out justice. It's the nature of man. It's your nature, it's my nature. You know it. You know it when something pops up in your head and you think, that's not fair. That is not fair. Someone better do something about that. It's built into you. It's how God made us. You have a desire for justice. So do I. You want to see it done. And in the history of the world, I gave you one of about 1 million examples of very, very, very extreme, very dangerous things happening when justice is not served. When people feel like the justice system is against them or feel like everything is against them, they do dangerous, desperate, immoral, stupid things. It is the nature of man. And my concern for all the bluster, and I'm nothing against Mark Meadows. I hope he meant every word of that. He probably does. I don't know the man. My concern is what we're hearing now from Mark Meadows, what we've heard all the time from people like Senator Lindsey Graham, who's been the worst at this. What I'm worried is it's a lot of smoke, it's a lot of bark, and they're not really going to be any bite. Already, and you're going to have to forgive me, what's taking so long? How is it possibly taking so long? And I know what you might be thinking. Well, Jesse, what's the rush? How could we rush it? People, have you looked at the calendar? Do you know what's coming in November? Do you know what happens the day after the election in November if Joe Biden wins and there are no indictments handed down on this yet? This investigation disappears like that. Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.